Hi everybody, I thought I would do one of the tag videos that's kind of floating around, the Home Sweet Home tag. It's going to be kind of fun. I've been watching a couple other people's videos. It's just kind of nice to know people's living situations. So let me go ahead and get started. I'll read the questions and go from there. What is your living situation? Do you rent, own your home, live at home? We own our own home. What type of house do you live in? Apartment, townhouse, house, tiny home? Ours is just a regular, single family house. It's like a 3-story house. We have an upstairs and then also an attic. It's a full space attic, a walk-up attic. Do you live in the city, suburbs, or country? We live more in town. It's not really a city. It's a bigger city than what I grew up in. But it is more of a smaller city. The nice thing about this too is that we do own the property that I grew up on, which is very much country. So it's kind of nice. That's one thing I love about that, is that Nate can kind of experience both worlds. I like living where we do because it's very close to everything. It takes me 10 minutes to get to work. It takes my husband 20 minutes to get to work. Grocery stores are 5 minutes away. We can run and do things in just a couple minutes. I really like that aspect, but at the same time, on the weekends we like to kind of get away from all that and just go up to my mom's property and have the open space and the quietness and nature and all that stuff. So I like having the best of both worlds. How many people live in your home? So it's me and my husband, my son Nate. I'm pregnant with our second son, Keegan. And we have a puppy, Corky. He's really not a puppy. He's 14 years old, but he's still my puppy. If you own your own home, when did you buy it? And how old were you when you bought it? So, we bought our house in 2004, in July, in the summer. I would have been like 25, and it's interesting because I was actually buying this house when I met my husband. How long have you lived in your home for? So that's 12 years now. How many bedrooms? So we have, right now, 2 active current bedrooms. We have our bedroom and Nate's bedroom. And then we have the attic that we're refinishing right now to make our 3rd bedroom for Keegan, which will also have a play area in it. How many bathrooms? We have 2 bathrooms, one upstairs and one down. And what was the selling point for your home? What sold you on this place? So there's a couple of things. I had, at the time, I was single, about to meet my husband, little did I know. And I had looked at, this was actually the 3rd house I was trying to buy. The first house I was trying to buy kind of fell through in regards to like financing, and there was a program I was trying to go through. The second house I tried to buy, the people were decided not to sell it. And then this was the 3rd house that I tried to buy. So I had looked at a lot of houses. And the very first thing that attracted me, well, there's a couple of things. The very first thing I liked about this house is that my house is yellow. I always wanted a yellow house. So that I really liked it. That's what got me in here to look at it. Secondly, the price was very, very low. We got a really good deal on this house just because it did need a lot of work. It needed a little TLC. The woman that had lived here had, raised her family here. She was older. I think she'd gone into a nursing home or something. But her kids were trying to sell the house, and she had died, I think, before I bought it. But so she hadn't really done much to it like I think a lot of older people do. She hadn't done much to it in several years, so it needed a lot of TLC. So because of that, we got a really good deal on it. So, price was definitely a selling point for the house. What is something you love about your home? So, I love the fact that we have completely remodeled it and made it our own. I don't have as many pictures as I wish I had in regards to when we first started, but I have a lot of pictures and I love to look at them, and I love to go back and see everything that we have done. We have completely gutted the house. We've put all new plumbing, all new electric. Our house, because it was 100 years old, had like lath and plaster. We tore that all out. It all has drywall now. It's just nice that we have completely made it our own. What is something you hate about your home? The only thing I really hate about it is the fact that it's not finished. It's been an ongoing project for 12 years. I see people that buy houses and within a couple years they've completely redone the whole thing, and that just hasn't been us. There have been different times, different reasons. We've either had, there's been times like when my husband worked a lot of hours, a lot of overtime and things like that, so we kind of took a break on the house for that. There are, when Nate was born, he had all of his issues, we took a break then. And really, we haven't done much since Nate was born. This is kind of the first push we've had with a new baby coming to get stuff done. But just everything being unfinished is really what is frustrating. And I hope that with the attic being our last huge project, really, that needs to be done. I mean, there's still plenty of other little projects, but not to the extent that the attic is. So I'm hoping that we'll kind of get a rest for that for a while. What is a future project you plan on completing in your home? So the attic is number one. Then we need to finish our bedroom. Our bedroom ceiling needs to be redone. It needs to be leveled and then, drywall put up. That's a whole long story, but that needs to be done, the attic. And then our entryway. We've never finished our entryway because my whole theory behind this was because that's where everything's coming in, like when we carry drywall to the attic and the plywood for the flooring and all that stuff. It's all coming through the entryway up the stairs, and we never finished it because I just figured it was pointless to finish it until all the major projects were done because the walls would just get marked up and so that's our goal after we get the attic and our bedroom done, to actually finish the entryway, which is, I'm going to love because it's the very first thing you see when you walk in our house. So, what is something you changed about your house immediately after moving in? The very first thing that we did is we tore up carpet in the office. I believe it was like an orange colored, like 1970s carpet we tore up. There's hardwood floor underneath it. Eventually I'd like to refinish those because they haven't been refinished, but they're still really nice. The other thing we did is because our bedroom was an efficiency apartment on the back of the house that hadn't been lived in like 30 years. There was no access to our bedroom from the main part of the house. So one of the very first things we did is create a doorway between the rest of the house and our bedroom. And then we tore, like our back porch area, we tore down the stairs that came up to our bedroom. And we made, you can kind of see it in the background there along with my mess of baby stuff. We made a balcony off our bedroom, which I love. And then there's a covered screened-in porch below that. What is something you always wanted to do to your home and never get around to? Finishing it. That's really it. There's so much to do. And the thing is, it's not totally frustrating just because we do love to do it. I mean, I love home type things. I love home shows, and we love remodeling, and we love, looking at other houses and things like that. So it's not like it's a huge thing, but I would eventually at some point like to have it done. If you had it to do over again, would you rent, buy your current home? If not, why not? I would, just because the main reason is probably financial. We have been able to do so much because our mortgage is so cheap. We've had the ability to probably travel places that we probably would not have the ability to do if we had like a normal mortgage payment. And when I was like losing my job, it's 6 years ago at this point, I remember like the panic that people had because they had these mortgage payments that in my opinion were high, and I didn't have to worry about that because our mortgage is just a couple $100s a month. So it makes a huge difference in what we're able to do, how financially secure we feel, and that's probably why I would not change anything. For our honeymoon, we went to Hawaii for 2 weeks. Things like that we could have never probably done had we not lived here. So for that reason alone, I think that it's well worth it. Does your home have any quirks? If so, what are they? Do you like these quirks? Why or why not? So because we have an older home, we have lots of quirks. Remodeling is very interesting because nothing is square or level or put together right sometimes. You know, our house is from 1910, so back in 1910, they used whatever they could to build things with. So, for example, we had a wall in between the living room and the dining room and just had like an arched doorway, and we decided we wanted to open that up and tear that out. And in the living room, it had lath and plaster and paneling. The dining room side, I think it had lath, plaster, and paneling as well. We tore all that off and got down to the studs. Like, the studs were not even touching the floor. Like, literally, you could move the wall. So that was kind of interesting. And we found a lot of things like that. Like, in our house, like, 2x4s are actual 2x4s. They're, you know, rough cut lumber. Most of you probably know when you go to the, you know, Home Depot or Lowe's and you get 2x4, it's not actually 2 inches by 4 inches. So that makes things a little bit different when we're putting trim and things like that up. It doesn't always fit, so we just have to kind of, you know, be creative with things like that. You know, add extra pieces of things and things like that. I'll do a home tour sometime and let you guys see that. But like, for example, the ceiling in our bedroom, the reason why it's just not a matter of putting drywall up is because the ceiling's not level. So we have to go through with 2x4s, level the ceiling, then put drywall up. And it's just, you know, it's an interesting process. It's a lot more work because it's an older home than it would be if it were, you know, new construction we were adding on to, or, you know, something probably even 50 years old or so. So I think that's it. So guys, go ahead and do this. It's really interesting. I think it's fun to see everybody else's situations. I hope everybody's having a great night. Talk to you later. Bye.